All right, everyone, I've got the green light from the production team for our next run, so let's give it to Sathdresh for Willow any %. Best of luck and take it away.
Hey, welcome everybody from GDQ. My name is Sathdresh. I am going to be running Willow for the NES for you. This is its first appearance ever at GDQ. So it's going to be quite a treat. There's a lot of things that have evolved with this run over the years, and we're going to kind of go through a lot of it. But with me is Vanny Van on commentary, and brottster, both members of the community and fellow runners of the game. Really awesome individuals as well. Extremely talented speedrunners. And yeah, so would you introduce yourselves, Vanny and Vanny?
Yes, I am Vonnie. I love it that my good friends still mispronounce my name, but that's cool. Yeah, I am a fellow. I'm a fellow Willow runner, and yes, just all around big time Sathdresh fan.
I am so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Vaughn. I'm Brott. This is my first time commentating at GDQ. I've been running Willow for 2 or 3 years now, and I'm just excited to be a part of this.
All right, so we are, basically this is 100% true to the movie, all the way through and through, and we'll definitely point out the spots that you obviously had to have been, asleep for. So let's go ahead and go. We will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So the beginning of the game, we are just left to our own devices. You kind of want to talk to the villagers, but the main thing that we're going to go and get is a longsword from our good friend Vonkar.
No relation. Yeah, so this is going to be the first weapon of the game. Now, if Sath, who is the current world record holder, won't be remiss in mentioning that. If it was doing a world record run attempt, we would actually skip this longsword because we would pick up the second weapon a game, and that would be what we would use initially. But with this being a marathon, there's going to be a trick here. I believe you're going to attempt to do it, Seth?
Yeah, if we have enough health for it, since we didn't get the spawns there, I'm just going to kind of double kill these slimes. So I'm going to spawn the screen twice.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
Yeah, so to make this route marathon safe, what we wanted to do is get level 2 here. So you need 150 XP. This slime's give you 10. And so that would just give us safety later on. So instead of having to do 2 frame perfect tricks to get past certain enemies, we can just walk through them and then have enough MP for the heal mace that we'll be getting shortly to make sure we don't have to restart the run.
Yeah, and if we have enough health, if we don't get wrecked by these slimes,
Nice.
we will. Yeah, I think we might be able to have enough health to try it. We'll try to go for the trick. We call them the Taz snakes, but we'll see if it works. But right now, what we have to do is we want to get the heal mace, and in order to do that, we have to talk to this random villager who happens to be the chieftain's son, and he just says, "Hey, you look pretty cool. How about it? You have a wood shield, and then go talk to my pops." Yeah. So,
one thing that we were also that we didn't mention that I have seen in chat. Yes, this movie is, well, we did say that it was based off of a movie. It is a fantasy adventure movie from the late 80s. starring Warwick Davis, as well as a guy named Val Kilmer, who I know is one that people enjoy seeing, and we will get to that later on. But this was a licensed game made by Capcom for the NES. I know that licensed games on the NES have a reputation for being really, really, really bad. This is definitely an exception to the rule. Casually, this game is fantastic. The visuals, the sound, it's just, as NES games go, especially licensed ones, this one is fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is probably hands down one of the best licensed games that's ever released for the NES. I can't actually really think of anyone that is more polished than this one.
Yeah.
This game was in production, or when it finished production, at least as far as we know, it was a game that was made before Willow became popular. And so what Capcom did was I'll just wait here for a second.
Oh, no, we didn't get it.
No.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll try it again on the next one.
Okay.
I'll continue my point after Sath attempts his second snake here.
Right. So what Sath is trying to do is he's trying to time.
Yeah, no, didn't get it on that one either.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to bait out that little lunge from the snake and then move up at the very right moment such that when you get hit by it, you get boosted straight up and you only take damage from it once. Unfortunately, in both of those instances, Sath took death from twice. Also, this game has a lot of death warps. When there are death warps, there's a lot of flashing. So photosensitivity warning here, yes.
Yeah, and that's going to happen a few other spots in the game.
Yeah.
We're going to take one just a little bit also. But it also happens at the end of boss fights and when you use spells. But
yeah,
we're not going to be casting much magic in this.
We'll try to give you a little more warning for that as well.
A lot of the stuff that does the flashing with the magic, basically the fleet spell, that's not until the latter half of the game. So
right now what we're doing is we just got the gold statue, and the gold statue is needed to get access to Bogarda. Basically, that skeleton, you have to prove that you have the gold statue, and you're supposed to give it as like homage to Bogarda. But instead, you're going to go in there and, ooh, that's not a good spawn.
Oh, that really isn't. Also, one thing that we didn't really say there, but I did see it, is that when you, after you talk to the snake, you have to moonwalk into the cave or your run is invalid.
Yeah. That is definitely something that we all try to strive for, the moonwalk.
So much information to give you guys, and not enough Willow running to say it all. So,
yeah. So what Sath is about to pick up here is the battle sword. This is normally in like a world record attempt run. This would normally be the first weapon that you would get, and we need it because there is a boss fight at the end of this cave. Now I know we're only about 6 or so minutes into this run, but this is definitely the most complicated boss fight in the run, and that's not an exaggeration.
No, and even though, all right, so normally in like the world record runs, we have half the health that we have.
Right.
But even then, doing this with double the health is still extremely hairy.
Right. Because you can't use your healing magic.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use any magic in boss fights. So what we're going to do is we're going to use damage boosts off of Bogarda's body to give us iframes to basically melt him down in the corner.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's a beautiful Bogarda fight.
One of the benefits of being such a low level is that Willow swings his sword slower. And because he swings it so slow, when he does a full swing, he actually hits Bogarda multiple times. Whereas you can also poke and it only does damage once.
Right.
And isn't that who was the one that came up with that quick kill?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I optimized that fight or not. I would like to say that when I learned the run, that Toad did something similar, but I'm not sure who came up with that
It's
initially.
a bad spawn also.
So, real quick to explain why
Feeble.
Sath was, to explain why Sath was intentionally took a pause to take damage there. He's going to be doing another death warp. However, whenever you're in like a cave, a castle, or anything like that, and you die, anything that you achieved while you were in that cave or castle, whatnot, will not carry over after your death warp. So this is going to come into play multiple times throughout the run. So what Sath is going to do is he's just going to kind of soften himself up a little bit here. Or maybe not. He is not going to get the spawns he needs. Okay, so he's going to have to do both of this
any of the
outside.
spawns that we needed.
Yeah. So unfortunately, so ideally you come outside with like only a handful of HP, and then you die right away to this big dog.
There we go. At least we
There
got
we
the
go.
double dog.
Flashing again. Shoot, forgot.
Sorry.
If it ever looks like
So-
we're trying to intentionally die, just be careful that there's going to be flashing.
Yeah. But that's why Sath didn't just go ahead and take the death there right away as soon as he was done with Bogarda, because everything that he would have done in there, killing Bogarda, getting the battle sword, getting the experience for the levels and whatnot, all of that would have been wiped away when he respawned. So.
All right, yeah, and right now we just got access opened up to this big bridge, and that's gonna. We're basically gonna go and just kind of poke around and just see who we find out here. There is a lone hut that we've heard about, and we're just gonna kind of maybe go and find it.
Cool.
Just like in the movie.
Just like in the movie.
Just like in the movie.
Yes.
So if we did not defeat Borgata, if we tried to cross this bridge, it would deny us. There wouldn't be
shake and you can't move.
Yeah, it'd play some funky sounds and you wouldn't be able to cross.
Right.
So this is the most important screen in the game.
Yes.
We can't tell you why
this.
yet,
Right.
but
We'll get to it in just a moment.
You'll see that screen.
And here we just pop in this hut and
Uninvited.
Uninvited, and this lady says, "Hey, what are you doing here? My pet is hurt. Have some medicinal herbs and go find him." So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're on a fetch quest almost.
Basically. So this section is basically just, one thing I will mention here is there's going to be those treants that wake up there and throw the fire at you. Sath is going to come to a series of screens where there's a bunch of those treants in a row, and he's going to move in a very particular pattern, because the order in which those treants start throwing out those fireballs is fixed. So if you walk in a specific pattern on these screens, you will always avoid them. Like, he doesn't move up to that spot until right there. Now on this screen here, he's going to go up, do a little whoop, do a little juke there, and get around that second fireball. And then he basically just stays on the top row there, and he's completely safe. So he is good.
Ooh, we didn't get the skeleton
That's
spawn.
a
Yeah,
rare
nice.
non-spawn.
That's a great, despawn, I guess. This is actually a good but of course you get the trolls. This is actually a good opportunity to talk about enemy spawns.
Oh, we got them both.
Oh no, that's super rare. There are some screens like this one here with this pink double-headed monster where sometimes they will spawn and sometimes they won't. There's also going to be screens where enemies are guaranteed to spawn. There's actually going to be a section coming up here in this cave. This is Matanda's cave, by the way. There's going to be a section coming up here in this cave where there is a very particular enemy that is going to be very difficult for Willow to deal with right now, that we really, really, really want to not spawn or just like deliberately despawn. And in fact, it's coming up in just a couple of screens here. Let's see if it spawns.
Hopefully
Does it cooperate?
All right, he didn't
Oh,
spawn.
it does.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
okay,
we have to
great.
come through this screen one more time later on, so there's one more chance to see him.
Yeah.
So
But speaking-
that chest that Sath just passed, it's a relatively new strat, but we used to get that sword. We don't get it anymore. It would be
Speaking
the
of
third sword of the game.
Speaking of enemy spawns, this is where it is critical. This little
this
area
is,
here. Okay.
What we call the Hellway, and these. Oh, nice.
nice.
Only one out of the
Okay.
3 so far.
Great.
So it's 50-50. Every one of those screens, it's a 50-50 chance, depending upon if it's an even or an odd frame when you get in there. And so we have to go through those screens, 6 of those. So
Yep.
it's
There's
not fun if we get
good.
all
Nice.
of them.
Yeah.
We
So
didn't get the red skeletons, which is good.
Yeah, the
right.
last,
So
the last
go
row going down is red skeletons that deal more damage. So with those not spawning especially, it's important. There's a handful of spots in this game where your run just dies sometimes. And so Tasnix is the first one, the first boss, Borgata is the second, and then this is the third, was that Skeleton Alley.
yeah. So in the Hellway, there are 6 different opportunities for the skeletons to spawn. 3 on the way up, 3 on the way down. Oh, nice.
We got the good
Nice
kill.
quick
That's
kill on that.
One of the
That's
most satisfying
it is.
enemy killings in the game.
The timing for getting that fireplace in order to do that is rather precise. But yeah, so back to the Hellway. There's 6 opportunities for skeletons to spawn. 3 on the way down, 3 on the way up. We only got 1 out of the 6, which is excellent. If we would have gotten 0 out of the 6, then we no longer refer to it as the Hellway. We refer to it as the Heaven Way.
And it is definitely heavenly.
Oh,
when
yes.
you get that.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
extremely heavenly when you get that.
Because if you're doing a PB run and you get like 4 or 5 spawns, if you survive, you're losing 20, maybe 30 seconds.
At least 20 seconds.
Yeah, it is significant. So, the nice thing is that this is, we're about a quarter of the way into the run. It's not like this, it's not like the Hellway is like 2/3 of the way into the run, and you have to deal with it there. So the fact that it's earlier is kind of nice. Ooh, skipping the flame sword.
Yeah, we're gonna skip it also.
Oh,
This is the
wait,
we were
wait.
referring to.
Get it?
That was a
Oh,
really good
well
placement of your fire.
done.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, the newest version of the world record route is we ignore the flame sword, and there's a particular reason that we chose to do that,
Yeah.
and it's kind of complicated to try and explain in a short amount of time, but basically the way the game's coded and the level that you're in for most of this game, having the battle sword equipped, allows us to what we call critting bosses. After so many hits, it does max damage. And I won't get into too many details about that because it's quite complicated. But yeah, basically the battle sword allows us to quote unquote crit bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the strength attribute is tied into the boss's health bite. For some reason, they're like they work in tandem together. And since you have 32 strength, that fits into it perfectly, like 8 times. So every 8 hits, you get a critical hit. But whenever you start a boss fight, it starts you at 128. Like it just sets that value at 128. So the first critical hit with the battle sword will be at your 4th hit. And then it goes every 8 hits after that. But the game knows, so it almost seems like it's intentionally coded because the game knows when you can't kill the boss with the critical hit. So once it knows that it's there, that you know you've done it a few times, and the next one will kill the boss, it actually underflows it and puts it at -1. And then restarts the count all over again. So it's kind of weird how it works, but essentially it allows us to use the battle sword as one of the strongest swords in the game because of that.
Yeah. We kind of glossed over that cutscene that was there. That was the enormous fairy Sherlindria. What she did is she told Willow here that it is his prophecy to strike down the wicked Queen Bavmorda, who is, you know, kind of being a real jerk over the whole land. And she gives him the cane, which is currently useless, but it will be rather unuseless at a certain point coming up later on. What happened right now is he picked up a weapon called the Devil Eye. This has a very specific property that we will use. Yeah, and that was Mad Mardigan.
We're just hi, bye.
Yeah. Given the route that we're doing here, it is not required that we talk to him, and you will see why very soon. But don't worry, for all of you Mad Mardigan stands out there, we will see him several times throughout this run.
Yeah, there's at least, you'll at least see him 2 more times.
Yeah.
So this is, when I first started running the game, this didn't exist, and so this glitch that was found has completely changed the route, and I'll let Sath explain what he's doing here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I want to give a big shout out to internet YouTube commenter Dave Nice, who on one of Feasel's old runs, and definitely a huge shout out to Feasel for running this game, doing the early routing of this game. You've done so much for the community, so thank you. Seriously, it's amazing. You're awesome, dude. And wanted to say, Dave, thank you for this random find. But what we just did was, Dave Nice put a comment on Feasel's run saying, hey, there's a small patch of grass that you can clip through, and you get into this glitched out area that's like 25 minutes faster, and you know, from where you're at in your run. And it was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, it was reproduced, but nothing was really found from it. But Chaos Edge, one of the earlier runners of this, decided to poke around and pretty much figured out everything that we're about to do here. So the first thing is, we come into, you know what? Oh, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah,
We're
just
fine.
go back to the house, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, here, hold on.
Yeah, so the world record run before this was found was just over 1 hour and 14 minutes. And the world record now is 55 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah.
So it cut down a lot of time. And it did a lot more than just that. It made the barrier of entry to run this game hit a wall when people saw the grinding that had to be done to get to the levels that you need to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get to level
Vonnie,
13, it's
Vonnie
horrible.
himself, when he started running this game, I remember him, when I was in his chat, he even said, I wanted to play this game before, but I saw the grind, I just no. Right? But then this happened, and it changed the game.
And this glitch, what this glitch is we're going in through that grass patch, and we actually end up in the red tower. and we're able to get the red crystal beforehand, before we actually need to, or before we can. But it's perfect at how it works out, because we're not supposed to actually have access to this area at all. And being able to get into the red tower, this room is actually going to be sealed up when we leave this tower. So we're going to leave out of here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game intended you to go up the other tower first to get the blue crystal, then the red crystal, and it says that you need both to get the Crest of Spirits.
Yeah.
But you only really need the last one, which is the red crystal.
Right.
And we just happen to be inside of the red crystal. So already this glitch is telling us, we're just automatically able to get into this area and get the biggest key item in the game. But
Right.
what are you going to do with that?
Right.
There's nothing much that you can do with that. So, we'll just get it. We'll see what we do. But we're going to kind of look around.
Yeah. So and how this works the way it does is that all of the individual screens in this game are essentially like stitched together like one big jigsaw puzzle. And it just so happens that the screen that is to the left of where we clip through that grass is halfway into that red tower. So that's how we kind of wrong warp into that particular space, because that's how they had them all pieced together.
Yeah, so the glitch isn't quite done yet. So, okay, great. We got this glitch. How can we use it? So go ahead,
we
Sam.
find this door here.
Yep. Okay.
Because we were looking around,
that's a scary boss.
Hey, look, this is the last.
I wouldn't do that for
second
very
boss.
long.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Don't mess with that.
let's now.
Come on, Sam.
Let's
Go
see
fight
what
it.
happens.
Come on. Let's see what happens. You got
Did we
this,
really
dude.
see what we saw? Was that a boss?
Dude, that was a spiky boss, but I think you got this. That's not a spiky boss anymore.
No, not at all. That is Kale,
Yeah.
who we've never met yet, but
If you watch the movie, though, you know exactly who General Kale is.
Right.
But, so this is where it gets weird. That first boss, you need a special item to kill. And so we can't kill that boss. So for whatever reason, we leave, we come back, and Kale shows up. He's the second last boss of the game. So you think we should kill him? No, we don't. We just embarrass him, and then we leave.
We show mercy.
Yeah, we show mercy. So now, as you can see, that the boss bar is still on the screen. So the game is still obviously glitched. And why do we do that? So the reason why we do that is the game basically thinks that we're still in that boss fight. So what we want to do is we want to take that value and find some monsters to kill. The reason why we embarrass Kale is because we need to have his health be less than the health of whatever monster that we're trying to kill. In this case, it will be a fly. So this is the new grind of the game. It's actually quite difficult. So I'm gonna
I would give
be
serious
quiet.
time here.
one.
Nice.
So that fly usually gives you, I think, 30 XP, but instead of 30, it gives you about 9,000 or 8,000.
2.
Something around that. We need to kill 5.
Seth, are you going to do 5 or 7?
I'm doing 5.
Okay.
4.
If we did 7, then we would have gotten the flame sword. I'll explain why in a second.
All right. So here's what's happening here. Sath is going to go from having about a little over 1,000 experience when this started to having over 55,000 experience when he's done, in the matter of about only like a minute. The reason why we do this is because you need to be at least level 13 to beat the game for 2 reasons. First of all, that cane that I referred to before in that cutscene with Shailendra that we got, we need to power up that cane so that it can actually do damage. We can't get that cane powered up until we're at least level 13. Furthermore, we're going to need to use that cane in order to fight the first phase of the final boss, and it uses MP every time you use it. In order to have enough MP to do the requisite damage to that boss to kill it, you have to have, at least enough maximum MP in order to use it. And that maximum MP level that you get is going to be once you get to level 13. I'm sorry, we didn't get to 55,000. He only did 5 kills, so he's only at about 40,000. If he had done 7, he would have gotten to level 14. And that, some people might opt to do that, especially if you're starting to learn this run, just for a little extra safety, because it does give you some extra magic points, little wiggle room.
Yeah,
flashing here on the death. It does give you a little extra wiggle room with the MP in case things go bad. So now you notice his maximum MP is in the 220s, his maximum HP is the same. Before all of that leveling, his max MP was in the 90s. No, I'm sorry. His max MP was in the 60s, and his max MP was in the 90s. So an enormous difference here in what he had before. Now, the best
part
go ahead.
is that we are now, since we're level 13, we have exactly 32 strength with the battle sword. Which
and you get to see the
allow us
crits now.
Yeah, so that's why we didn't get
crits.
level 14.
Yeah, right.
So you'll see
Watch
some
health
huge
bar.
drops in the health bar. So watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Boom.
So it just melts the bosses up until a certain point.
Now we do not show mercy.
Yeah, and now
This isn't Cobra Kai here.
Now we will also not be talking, because during this cutscene here is an extremely hot jam. It is the national anthem of Willow any %, and we will go silent so that all of you can appreciate its glory.
So we killed Kale, but the game thinks that we killed Moose, and so that was the cutscene for that. Now we're walking through this cave backwards. I know we've been talking a lot about this run. We're trying to throw a lot of information at chat. We're all very excited that this run is finally made to GDQ. I'm sure there'll be at some point a time for redonations.
There will.
I'll let Sap decide when that should be, but there's just so much to talk about. There's stuff that we haven't been able to, we didn't have time for. There's things that we started talking about, and we just ran out of time to talk about those two. For example, the task snakes and the pixel perfect trick, right?
Oh no, we did.
Right. We did. We mentioned that, yeah.
But yeah, it's or I should say more to add to the trick to talk about. But it's just so much so much information to throw at you guys. I did see somewhere in the chat thanking us for the warning for the flash. We'll try to do better. There's a couple more times that'll happen.
Yeah.
So right now we got Fleet, which is a magic that allows us to escape out of caves or dungeons, any type of buildings if we get lost in there or need to just make a quick escape.
Yeah. Now, so we touched on this before, but it's relevant now. So Sath is using that sword called the Devil Eye. There's a certain subset of enemies in this game, I refer to them as ghost enemies, that will only take damage from the Devil Eye and no other sword. Conversely, if you try to use the Devil Eye on a non-ghost enemy, it will be completely ineffective. So, like these masks are ghost enemies, those bubble ghosts are ghost enemies, that ghoul that Sath just dealt with, the one that we were trying to dodge in Matanda Cave, that's a ghost enemy. So there's going to be particular sections where we will need to use that sword and that sword only in order to do damage to those enemies. So, and what's happening right now is that Willow is encountering the messenger of the earth, Fin Raziel, who is currently a possum. However, because of Willow's sorcery and the cane that Sherlindria gave him, he's able to turn Fin Raziel back into her human form. This cannot be done unless you are at least level 13. When
You will just keep changing her into other animals, pretty much like the movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
like that's one true thing with
That
the
is
movie.
seriously a true to the movie. Now,
Spoiler.
once you transform Fin Raziel, she will power up the cane. So now it will shoot out these bubbles that actually do a decent amount of damage, and it can be. I don't know if you already have it on. I like to equip it in this section because
I love it during this area.
Yeah, it's standard that we use it in this part of the run.
Yeah. Because it can do a decent amount of damage to enemies, but of course it is the only thing that will do damage to the first phase of the final boss of this game. So it is all very required.
Yeah, and it's the fact that now, since we're level 13, we can't miss any of the shots that we have against her. So
Right.
if we miss one of them, if anything happens like that, then we basically have to die and retry it.
But that won't happen.
Nah.
Yeah. So this section of the game, the mountain area here, this is notorious for being an area where it's very easy to get lost because a lot of the screens look the same and there's not a whole lot in the way of landmarks. So
sounds like the
kind of
entire
getting
game.
twisted around. Yeah, but this I think is one of the biggest sections for it.
Oh,
Okay.
agreed.
All right, I'm gonna take the floor here because there's a couple things that I want to discuss. First of all, we're picking up a magic called the Monster's Bone, which in your menu is going to be called the Spectre magic. Sath is actually going to be using this in very short order to demonstrate what it does, and it's going to be coming up in just a second here. Right?
Oh
Is it?
no! I'm gonna
Is
do
it?
it when we get to the holes.
Oh, you don't use it here?
Nope,
No,
we don't.
Oh, you're not going to get thunder, are you?
no.
Oh,
Who gets
you
thunder?
sneaky boy. I guess just
Who gets that?
just doofuses like me. Wow,
2019 speedruns here.
getting shamed in front of only about 55,174
No,
viewers.
not
big
at
deal.
all.
No big deal.
Hey,
All
you,
right.
you wanted the floor, so we gave it to you.
Okay, well, sorry. You pulled the rug out from under me and now I feel dumb. So
Oh no, it's so
No,
if you're
not at
learning
all.
this run, that is, you would use Spectre there, 100%.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and then you would come here and you can get thunder, and thunder will replenish your magic and your health also.
Yeah.
So it's really good to, not just starting out, but I mean even for like sub-hour runs, like it's definitely still good. Thunder's a good magic to have. It
Yes.
just obliterates enemies.
Very much so. All right, so it's going to be coming up here, so I'll make sure to I'll make sure to draw attention to something very specific after it gets used.
You also get to ask your question that you've loved to ask people.
Don't ruin it.
I'm not. That was my reminder for you to ask.
Trust me, I've been thinking about this for the entire run. I get it.
This is your moment.
This is my moment, yes. All right, so we're gonna come up to you see these little holes in the ground? Well, we're just gonna go boop and turn into this little slimy boy here. Now, normally these little holes would kind of open up and they would do damage. They would also block you from moving through them. While you're this slime, it deactivates any spawns of enemies that would come on the screen, and you can move through sections of the game very safely. Now, I have a question for you, chat, and here's what we want to do, okay? Obviously, when this slime is moving along the ground, it makes some sort of noise as it's moving. Here's what we're going to do. in donation comments, all I want you to do, send in a donation. It can be $5. We can start a $5 train here. I want all your donation comment to be is the word that you would use to describe the sound that the slime makes as it's moving along the ground. So let's, I would love to hear what it is that you think there. I don't want to, I mean, seeing it in chat is one thing. Donation comments are another, because we will have a section here where we can definitely toss it over to the host, and hopefully they will have some rapid fire donations that they can fire off that will just be nothing but just nonsense words to describe how a slime moves. So let's see if we can get that train going, please. We're gonna see this magic. It get used in several spots throughout the game because it's so incredibly useful.
Yeah, we're gonna use it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So,
can I shout out my favorite one in chat? I know there's
sure.
Slop?
Yes. Yeah. So, but we definitely want these in the form of donation comments so that we can have our host read them off, which will certainly be delightful.
So yeah. So this part of the game, MP is very important, and making sure that we have enough for certain. To be able to do everything we need to do is quite vital here.
Yeah.
And
I'm 30 MP down for what I need right now. We're not getting any of the spawns I need.
Right. So when you kill those ghost enemies, they live behind this little kind of like glowing pebble, and that pebble will replenish 10 of your MP. Now, we want those enemies to spawn so we can get some of that replenishment so we have what we need. But unfortunately, the despawns are working against my boy Sath here, and might have to do some
spawn.
Yeah, might have to do some fancy dancing here. So
yeah,
when those black bees spawn, they're fairly rare, but when they do, it always startles me every time because they deal a ton of damage.
And do you all know?
Nice
remember the bird people in Willow?
Yes, that was very. Very deliberate. So after he's done with this little cutscene here, he is going to cast the fleet magic, which is going to teleport him out of the cave. Flashing warning here. I should have been faster with that, but oh well.
I would have missed that one, so that's good that you caught that.
Yeah. So, okay, so what Sath just did is he did that cutscene there to talk to that old lady, and you need to do that in order to go back. Oh, we're gonna try and spawn him. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you here. Yeah, there you go. Because that one's easy to kill. It's like right there in front of you. But you need to talk to that lady as an event trigger, so that when we go back to this cave that we were just in, we will get an item that we need. So you see that we've done another sploop and have turned into Slimy Boy again. So again, another opportunity to send in your donations where your only comment is going to be the sound that it makes as it moves. Now, one of my favorite things to point out in this game is you are this little Slimy Boy. You have no bones. You have nothing like that. But we're going to go into this cave here, and you hear the click-clack of footsteps while you are slime. This is always something that delights me verily. Sath made sure to remind me that he was going to give me the opportunity to mention that. So thank you very much. It's always just fun to mention. So all right, we're going to try. There we go. Yeah, perfect.
Inverse, guys. This game is very easy to get lost in.
Yes.
It
Yes,
is.
Indeed. Yeah,
And
so
we're
again,
gonna use fleet again soon. So once we get out of this cutscene, we're gonna use it one more time. So we're gonna have another flat set of flashing lights also.
yes. All right. So, and the reason why, so we have to talk to this lady in order for this dude to give us an item called the Witch's Shoes. That's going to allow us to cross that bridge that we got to there. Alrighty.
So back down the mountain one more time.
back down the mountain one more time. After Sath goes a couple more screens, we are going to do, I think it's going to be right at the end of this screen here. We're going to go, oh no? Oh no? Oh, you don't do it yet. Are you conserving?
Yeah, because I only have...
Oh, do you want to get some more MP?
No, I have just enough.
Okay.
So I'm going to use it once we get to the bridge, and then once we're heading up toward the... I have just enough health.
Gotcha.
As long as I don't get hit by anything else.
Yeah. All right.
Because the snake is going to do 60.
Yeah.
There's a snake that spawns right before...
that's right.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but there's one chance for an enemy to spawn, and it hits us twice for 30 HP each time.
Gotcha.
So Sath was making sure that he had enough health to be able to tank those 2 hits.
Okay, so here's the deal. We've got a lot of walking in this section. Host, we're going to toss it over to you. If you have, I want you to just fire off all of those donation comments that describe what sound the slime makes, and others if you have them as well, please. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
Of course, we've got a lot of those donations. So,
nice.
Just before he asked, what sound did the slime make? We have Tony Piz with $5 saying splorsh, splorsh. Oscan with $5. I'm trying to keep up. Oscan with $5 saying shlurp, florp, florp, florp. Halior with $5. Slurp, slorp, slurp, slorp, boing. A slime with $5. They say skloop. Heretic with $5. They say shlorb. Captain Top Deck with $5 who says squoop. Noble with $5 who says sloopy sloopy. Honey Hyena with $15 who goes slime goes with low rasp. Let me try it again. Good luck. We also have Lexi Logical with $5 and they say sloops. And then we have $5 from Corpse Eater, Schlorp. $5 from Average Joe Star, Plorp, Plorp, Plorp. Here's an interesting one. $5 from Jackass, Deeble, 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 Deeble. Thank you so much, everyone. That was
oh my God, that was fantastic.
Some interesting onomatopoeias there. Do we have time for one more donation here?
Yeah,
go ahead.
And we will we're gonna have a cutscene, but we will have a death animation also, so there will be flashing lights. So but go ahead and with another donation.
Yeah, you got time.
Thank you for the heads up. We have a $500 donation here from Julie Cat.
Oh.
Hey Sath, celebrate yourself and let us celebrate this underrated gem of a game as you tear it apart. And hopefully one day we can celebrate taking down cancer as well.
Thank you so much, Julie Cat. And so here's the death abuse. And this death abuse right now, it just takes us right back to the town that we needed to be at. And we're going to go ahead and head into the castle. That lady up at the top of the mountain gave us, decided to open up the door to the gate for us. So now we're going to go in and go after the Eversisk, which is named after Siskel and Ebert.
Yep. One thing that we should mention about the death warps, and this is actually a really important part, especially in a section coming up, is that there's 2 reasons why we do the death warps. One of them is that it's going to take us back to, sections so that way we avoid backtracking that we would otherwise do with walking. But also when you respawn with full MP and HP. And it's just a nice way to kind of give you a little, just kind of free refresh on those things very quickly.
When I first started running the game, there was exactly 1 death warp that was used. It saved about 15 seconds versus the deathless category run. Now there's quite a bit more.
It's like, I want to say there's like 7 or 8 that we do throughout the run. Oh, come on, do it. Oh. Nice. Okay.
That was much better than getting killed by that fireball.
Yeah, that is true.
So we defeat the Everest just like in the movie.
Yes, where Willow just slaps it in the face repeatedly with his sword. Alrighty, so here we go.
It was a trap.
But I like how he introduces himself, even though we've already seen him twice.
Yeah, how does he not know us,
Yeah.
especially that we already beat him?
I also like how here's Mad Mardigan. He says, "Hello, Willow. We meet again," even though we've never spoken to him before.
Well, we met. I just chose
Yeah.
to ignore
Just
you.
walk past.
We just kind of gave him the deuces as we walked by. So here we have the brownies. These are Frangine and Rule. They are the comic relief of the movie. And but here they're being bros because they're actually busting us out of this cell. See, now we've got that opening.
And they also gave
Flashing.
us the powder of unrequited love.
the powder of unrequited love. Yes.
All right, and I'm going to change this back to Spectre because we're going to need that. So all of my MP from this moment forward is pretty calculated for what I'm going to be doing. But we're going to just be walking back to Castle Nockmar. So there is going to be a little bit of walking if you want to read some more donations.
All right, we still got some more slime sounds. You want me to read some off some of those?
Oh yes.
Yeah, go right ahead.
No worries. Okay, this one is $5 from McClunky Culkin. Hey, it's me, the slime. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. A few
That
more.
would be a terrifying sound to make
Yeah.
as you're walking down the road.
I agree with you there. What else do we have? We have $25 here from Radikun Schlurp. We have $5 from Azem Amberheart. Pleka, 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 pleka. We have $5 here from Anonymous Splorm. Another $10 from another anonymous donor. Schlorp. $5 from Greg. Squip, squip, squip. Those are a few more there. Do we
Like
have
wet
time?
shoes.
We have time for a few more?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, we got another one here. We have a $250 donation here from
Yo.
Cloudy Shoe. Dath, what a horrible night to have a... wait, wrong game. Good luck with Willow, a game clearly inspired by Utopia.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
And
Thank
not
you,
Zelda.
Cloudy.
Exactly.
Thank you, Cloudy Shoe.
Yeah, thank you, Cloudy. I
So
love it.
I don't think we mentioned it, but earlier in the game, we got an item from Poe called the Orcarina.
Yes.
And the Orcarina allows you to fast travel.
With a pterodactyl, a bird
Yes.
of some sort. I wonder who stole that idea.
So for that comment of, oh, this is Zelda, maybe Zelda's Willow.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Also, just again, what we've been doing here is, as Slimy Boy, you see, we're scooting along. Please continue to send in your donation comments with the word that you would use to describe the sound that slime makes as it is just kind of sliding or slithering along. We'd love to hear all of them, trust me.
Is that time for a few more then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, there's actually some walking here, yeah.
All right, no worries at all. We have MJSPRA with $5. Glorp. He's an interesting one. Venom Enon with $5. Flob Schwam Bom Bom, Flob Schwam Bom Bom. And then we have $5 here from Shifty. I must be confused. I thought this was AGDQ, not ASMR. Schlorp, schlorp. The good ones there.
So those screens that Sath just passed, you saw that these, like, when I was a kid, I used to call them bubble penguins, but they're like bubbles or whatever you want to call them. The
They're
original
bubble ghosts.
run, that's where we grinded to level 13, and so it's a 50% chance for them to spawn, and you would have to let them split twice. So very
and then hopefully
RNG
stab
heavy.
quick enough.
And
then hopefully stab quick enough to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. So just like in the movie, you turn into a slime, you talk to a guard, he runs away, and you get into
Yes.
Why
Bad
is a
Murder's
guard
Castle.
who guards a castle full of monsters running away? I
Right.
never understood that. you know what? We are just going to kill you.
Ooh, yeah, good call. So that is another place where using the Spectre magic is required. That is the intended way to initially gain entry into Nockmaar Castle.
Very important character in the movie here.
Yes. So we have to make 2 trips into here. Well, I guess we don't have to, but we do for the run. So what this guy is doing...
use fleet again.
Yeah. So what that conversation did there is the wing sword that we received earlier from the other member of the Eagle clan, the blue one. That sword, when you first get it, is extremely weak. Once you talk to that red member of the Eagle clan, he powers up. It is now the strongest sword in the game.
Yeah, and now we don't have to worry about the battle sword. We'll be
We've-
using the wing sword
We
now.
finally replaced the second best sword in the game with the best sword again, which is actually not true. The Devil Eye is the best sword in the game. Just like in the movie, the Devil Eye is the strongest sword.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
All right,
So
and
go ahead.
yeah, now we that Birdman that gave us the powered up sword also told us that the old lady that we talked to on top of the mountain has the key to Upper Nockmaar. So we're
Right.
gonna go over and meet with her, but she's no longer on the mountain. She's in this house, and you
Yeah.
don't know that. Nothing
Yeah.
tells you that she's there. You just kind of randomly find it, I guess.
Also, another great thing is she starts her conversation by saying, "Oh, you've met Eric?" Now, Eric was actually a knight that was right before the Eborsisk fight that, again, we just walked right by. So we actually haven't met him, but she thinks that we have, so we just play along.
Now we're gonna go head back to Nockmaar. We're gonna do a death abuse now to refill our magic
Right.
because now we're at the tail end of the run.
One more
Electro
intentional death. Any deaths after here are going to be unintentional, and we certainly hope that we don't say, "Oh my goodness, come on."
This is the newest famous run killer.
Oh no, come on.
Really? Come on, there.
There
we go.
you go. Okay, death coming up here, flashing. All right.
All right.
Now with the key to Nockmaar Castle, there's a lot of doors in here that were otherwise impassable that we can now go through. Also, we didn't really mention it before because we were in here very briefly, but the music in here is awesome. It's really good. And then the section after this, once we get done with Nockmaar Castle and are on the spire at the top, is also really great.
Yeah, you think this
As you would
music's
expect
good?
from
The other
as
one.
you would expect from, like, you know, vintage heyday retro Capcom games. It's
Yeah.
just par for the course.
And you'll recognize like a lot of sounds from other Capcom games, like Bionic Commando and Mega
Sure.
Man, things like that. So it's kind of fun when you like can point them all out. You're like, oh, hey, they use parts of this and this. So now we're gonna run through these screens. We don't want to lose any magic because we have to keep all of our magic for this
Yeah,
the final boss fight.
yeah. Do not accidentally press A.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even, I stop that with not even equipping any magic until I get right next to Bavmorda's room.
Oh, there you go.
Because
Okay.
I have done that way too many times.
Yeah. So the lady here in this cutscene, her name is Sorsha. This is actually Bavmorda's daughter. We skipped the section where we would have seen her otherwise, but this is a great time, real quick, to tell an anecdote here. So in the movie, Sorsha is played by a lady named Joanne Wally. And of course, Mad Mardigan here is played by Val Kilmer. Now, by the end of the movie, these two kind of get together and they have the love interest and whatnot. So over the course of the movie, Joanne Wally gets to kiss Val Kilmer, right? And she was like, you know what? I don't want to do this just over the scope of the movie. I want to continue to do this. So she married him. And that's pretty baller.
It's true.
Shout outs to Joanne Wally. All right,
Down
shout outs to this
Kale
Kale
number
fight here.
3.
Yeah.
So he's even easier this time.
Oh,
Because he's just a
perfect setup.
shadow of, of his former self.
Yeah.
So, casually, this is one of the hardest bosses in the game. Because if you go to beside him, he'll start like lunging at you, like dashing towards you.
Yeah,
But once
he
you
moves
realize he's
extremely
Just zooms.
fast.
Once you realize he's just
It's a zoom.
right-handed and you can just attack him on the left side, it's pretty easy. So this is the epic music right before the last boss battle.
Yeah, the Ramparts of Nockmar. My favorite track.
Agreed.
If there's a donation, go ahead and read it. We got a little bit more before we get to Bad Morning.
Not too long though.
Yeah.
No worries. We still got a few slime sounds coming through, so I'll read off a couple more of those. We have Ellipsis440 with $5, and their slime sound is Flabba Wappa Bing Blorp. And we also have $5 here from Trinity Babe. Bloop, blub, bloop, blub. You're doing well, Sath. Smiley face.
Awesome.
I'm glad that's the sound the slime makes.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
All right, so we are approaching the final boss of the game, the Evil Queen, Bavmorda. As we have talked about before, the only thing that will do damage to her first phase is this cane. Now, she's going to throw out little fireballs that are going to stick around on the screen. Those fireballs will block arcane shots. Sath has to be very, very careful to not throw a bubble into one of her fireballs. Oh no! Okay, so unfortunately that's exactly what happened here. So with that being done, Sath had no choice but to take a death because he just wasn't going to have enough MP
That
in order
was unfortunate. That was
fight it.
a horrible fire.
Yeah, that was
Fireball spawn. That was right there, right when I shot too. There was no way I could avoid it.
Yeah, that was definitely a troll job.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll look at some of the positives. You know what's more fun than
We can
embarrassing
bring more
Kale
donations, too.
and then killing Kale twice? Is killing Kale a third time.
A third
Yeah.
time, yes.
A third
Who
time.
wants to see Kale get killed a third time? Let's
Yes.
hear it in chat.
Yeah. So one thing that we haven't mentioned, that ghoul enemy that Sath just avoided there, that was kind of with the yellow tunic and the purple arms. What those ghoul enemies are extremely annoying because what they will do is if you stay on the screen long enough, they will do this magic where they turn you into a pig, and you cannot exit the screen while you are in pig mode. So it can it can absolutely be a run killer. So we want to avoid and unfortunately the later game ghouls, the pig magic lasts even longer. Like that one, if that one would have got him, he's a pig for like, I don't know,
It's
30
10
seconds.
shots. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 shots because it's not like how many seconds you're a pig, it's how many like attacks that enemy does to you.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's 3 different colors of ghouls. I think it's 5 shots for the gray one, 10 shots for the blue one, and 15 for the pink one, I believe.
Okay.
Which is
It's
agonizingly annoying.
oh, it's so painful.
And
Oh
you're
my
a
goodness.
pig the entire time. It's just it's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
and you can't go through screen transitions, you can't do anything, you're just stuck on the screen.
yep. So we're just gonna get right in this perfect position here. Don't let Kale touch us. Perfect. Okay, good.
Yeah, flashing again.
Yeah. Nice kill there.
We just love this this last track so much that we felt that we all need to just hear it again.
You know, it's just got this great like heroic feel to it. Like you are about to beat the game. I hope that you are ready.
Yeah, picture this.
You know.
You're speedrunning this game. You're on world record pace. You just beat Kale for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
And then this music hits.
Yeah, and it just the blood really starts pumping at this point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that rush is definitely fun.
Yes. Alrighty, well,
If there's any other donations, you got
yeah, real quick, yeah.
No worries. We have a $25 donation here from Swift. One of my best friends. Good luck on your run.
Hey. Thank you, Swift.
Nice. That was a Swift comment, which was just what we needed here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're about to get back into the second confrontation here with Bavmorda. This one will be successful. I am sure of it. So she talks a little mess. And now Sath is going to do his thing here. Perfect setup. There it is.
That's
nice.
phase 1. There's second phase still. So
Yeah.
time will be on the death of
Last hit.
Yeah.
this form.
Now
Which
in
is
this phase,
also gonna have flashing.
yeah, it's basically the exact same thing as the first phase, only now you can do damage to her with your sword. And that's time.
All right, time. Yeah.
Good game, Sath. Well played.
Yo, GG, man.
So this is Willow.
Yeah, this is Willow. We did hit the incentive for debug percent.
Oh, yes, we are
thank
not
you,
done.
everybody. So we're not done yet with the Willow exhibition. We're going to kind of go through and do one of the wildest categories of a game I've ever seen. You know, I don't think I've seen any other NES speedrun like this when it comes to using like a debug password. So it's pretty cool what you can do with it.
Yeah, this is honestly mind-blowing.
So we'll go ahead and we'll just
I haven't seen a
reset
run
this
of
with this
debug
setup.
in quite some time, but we made it a category on speedrun.com, mostly for just the lulz of it, but it is entertaining and there is skill involved.
There it is.
But I think it would be a lot easier if Sath just explains what he's doing as he's doing it, just because it's only what a minute 10, a minute 30, depending on.
Well, we're gonna go through it.
Yeah, there are ways. There are ways here.
Are we gonna have this debate again, Bonnie? Do you recall on this?
Listen, I'm not the one with the controller in my hand and the camera pointed on me. So it's
true.
What I say or what I think here does not make any difference. It is all up to Sathdresh at this point.
Absolutely, 100%.
So yeah, don't try to drag me into this.
Oh, whoops, that was wrong. YNH.
One thing that we
Y6.
may or may not do in this debug percent run is, earlier how we were explaining that we embarrassed Kale and then we basically killed a fly and it gave us Kale's experience. We kind of do the same thing in this run, may or may not, depending on how Sath runs it. But we kind of use the same theory behind that in this run.
All right, so we're gonna enter the password. We'll start time in just a second. So the main thing with debug percent or the debug password is it gives you access to this. You can also use the second controller and change your level. You can do a whole bunch of different things with it, but for the category, we just use one controller, only the controls that you can use on the one-player controller. So first, what we're going to do is we have access to this. This is a coordinates for basically the overworld. So we're gonna go to it's 1B17. And then this is actually the Tir Aslan castle where we fought the Urbasisk in the screen, or in the upper floors, there's the Wonder Sword, and this is actually the second to last, basically the second strongest sword in the game.
Right.
It's really strong. If you look at the, see, it's 67 for the strength, so it's extremely strong. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and equip it, and then we're gonna go to B0. So right in here, we have the Muskrat. So we're gonna come back in through here, do the same thing that we did in the speed run.
Yep.
So instead of having to do everything with going through the, finding Poe, going through the crystals, we just teleport here, and we can just go ahead and do this. And then now, what we'll do is we will go ahead and go to, since we set the glitch up, we can go ahead and go to 1710.
Oh, you might be a little too high up. Yeah, you're gonna be stuck in the grass.
Too high.
Yeah.
We will have to go to.
Just go to a different screen. Yeah, that's one of the things that can be dangerous here is that you can kind of get like stuck in the environment, and then you have to. But that works. You can just do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a screen over.
Yep. Just a screen over. Exactly. Yeah. Where you can. So just like we did before, where the boss flag gets assigned to the first enemy that appears on the screen, and you get its reward for it. We are just coming here. We are just respawning these slimes, killing the first one that appears, and getting 7,000 experience every single time we kill it.
Already? We can kill them one hit, so I think that was 6.
Yeah.
Might have been 7.
Yeah.
All right, so what we'll do is now, while this is going on, we will go ahead and go to 14A, which is right outside Sherlindria's place. Oh, I'm also stuck. Should have moved over.
That's okay.
Yeah, we just got to go through the cutscene.
All we're doing here is
with us.
We're
the
getting,
cutscene. Yeah.
But you don't hear any of the music since we don't come in here the normal route through that door. So it still plays the cutscene, but you just don't have the music cued.
Right. Right.
And as you see, every once in a while, you'll hear the XP count up during this. It's like sometimes it counts up, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. So we're doing this cutscene to get the cane.
All right, so we got the cane now, and we're gonna go ahead and go to.
Yeah. So I see some people asking in chat, like, what's going on? Is this the actual run? Sath is just kind of showing off, like, how this works and some of this stuff. The actual run is going to be happening a little later on.
Right now, we're just kind of going through. We just set the glitch up, but since we can set the glitch up, we can probably do the same thing with Bavmorda, right, Vanny? Can't we just transfer? You would think we could just transfer Bavmorda's attributes to one of these slimes instead, right?
I tell you what, it's only AGDQ 2022, and you're live on here. What better time to just try it? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's put in this password.
Okay, cool.
We're doing it live.
All right, yes. All right, chat, let's see how this goes.
All right, so we're going to reset this. We'll do 5 and 6. Sorry, I don't have this password memorized.
Oh, neither do I. Trust me.
When I played this game as a kid, this was the hardest part of the game. Putting the password in to play again.
Oh my God. with the with uppercase and lowercase letters. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. It's just so cruel.
So
So
you're learning
cruel.
how to print
Yeah.
backwards J's.
Well, I'm assuming we're still gonna need the sword.
Are we going to start the timer?
Oh well, wait.
Oh.
Are we?
Oh, I didn't know they reset the timer. I thought it was just gonna keep going. Well,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just go ahead, hit it.
All right. Start it
I'll
up.
wait like 15 seconds. Hit it. That's funny. All right.
All right. So the Wonder Sword.
Yeah, so we're getting the Wonder Sword. Now we're gonna go to 11-1B,
Yep.
which is, oh wait, actually though, before we do that, well, that's gonna put us right next to her. That's fine.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, it will be fine. All right, well,
Yeah.
let's go back to that screen with the slimes.
I like how Babmorda just sits there and just wiggles and doesn't move. Like Willow, no.
Yeah, don't do this, Willow.
Willow.
My dress is caught in the treasure chest.
It's not worth it, Willow. All right, so we're just gonna beat up some slimes here. This seems fun. And these slimes are beefy now. Remember, this is the second strongest sword in the game.
Oh,
These
yeah,
slimes-
it's this one.
These slimes were normally dying to 2 hits of the beginning sword, but now they're flashing. Oh, we've got a cutscene.
Yeah. This is awesome. So it did work. We were able to transfer
Wow,
Babmorda over
there's
to
a
those slimes.
Cutscene for killing slimes? Oh my!
That's
What is
awesome.
this? This got
And
all
now,
kinds of funky.
This is definitely a hellscape.
Oh my god!
What is going on here?
A lot of things.
And now it's all black.
Whoa! Whoa! What's floating around?
What's going on with this?
What are you doing?
Oh, you know what? There's some slimes there.
Yeah, let's get
go.
these guys. Beat them up.
No.
Come on, get him, Seth. Yeah,
Time.
All right. Time.
that is time. Here's the ending cutscene of the game. You've already seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it once before.
We just beat Willow.
Twice before. But yeah, that was Debug %, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a fun little meme run that you can do. The actual world record run is like 1 minute and 15 seconds. Vanny's got like 1 minute and 17. So you can do it really, really quick, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun to try it out. But
Yeah.
this game is extremely accessible. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope it brought back some memories from your childhood as well. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you, GDQ, for having me. Von Yvonne and Brott, thank you so much for doing commentary with me on this. Seriously, for the first time that this was shown, even though we had that Death to Babmorda, this was a lot of fun. It was amazing, and I'm really glad that we were able to show it off. So
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Vonnie, you want to plug your socials, Brott? As well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm on Twitch at Vonnie_Vaughn. I'm actually going to be coming up here in just about an hour or so doing a run of my own. So I guess I'll save it for that. But one thing I do want to shout out, we were talking about the world record for this category. Shout outs to another member of the community. His name's Crandor. He is the one that has that world record there. He wanted to be able to watch this, but he wasn't able to. So I told him I'd shout him out instead. So maybe he'll enjoy this in the VOD. What's up, Crandor?
Crandor was integral with me learning this game. And
absolutely.
this route, the heel mace route is extremely easy to learn, and it's very forgiving for a lot of reasons. So if you want to learn this route, feel free to hit us up. We'll be more than happy to teach you all and hopefully get some more interest in this too.
Yeah.
And,
Indeed.
One more Crandor shout out. When Sathdresh first ran this game, I just get a random message on Discord from Crandor. He'd be like, Brott, we got another Willow runner. His name's Sathdresh. Then instant link to his Twitch, right? And he was pumped. He was generally excited for a new runner. So So if anyone here is thinking about, hey, you know what, I'm looking for a new speed run that's easy to learn. There's a safe route with the heal base, and you want to like make someone's day, that being Crandor and the Willow community as well, right? Pick up this game, give it a try.
Yeah, there's a really good speedrun guide for the Deathless route on there that Crandor made as well.
Yeah.
Great guide, everything. It's very informative, so easy to read too. So.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you, GDQ, again. Thank you, everybody, for being here and watching. It really means a lot. It really does. So thank you for the opportunity. Love you all. You're all amazing. So thank you, and we'll kick it back to the studio.
Well, what a journey that was. Thank you so much, Sathdresh, for that incredible run of Willow. I had so much fun reading those slime donations, so thank you all for sending those in. Still have some love coming in for Sathdresh here for the Willow run, $20 from Roni. Dearest Sath, I'm so happy to see you play Willow on the main stage. Congrats on world record again in any percent. Let's defeat that meanie Bavmorda, all in the name of cancer prevention. Love you, friend. We also have $10 here from JJ Schmidt77. Great to see Willow at GDQ. Here's to 500K during NES block, well, NES block. And just checking back in on how close we are. Oh, we're at $492,000. We are so close to $500,000 raised for Prevent Cancer Foundation. I think we can get that all done this morning or today. Let's keep seeing those donations come in. We got a couple more slime donations here. I'll read off because I'm still very entertained by those. $15 here from Serdan1987. Insert blob noises. Slurp, 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 slurp. Hope that sounds right. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Serdan. Also, we have $5 from Annoy Mouse. Boing, boing, boing. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, that is actually my time as a host for this AGDQ. Thank you all for being such great company, and thank you all for all the money that's been raised so much for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And I just wanted to add a little note about why raising money for PCF means so much to me. My mother is a 2-time cancer survivor. She lost both her kidneys 13 years apart to cancer, but thanks to an awesome team of doctors and specialists, she's still here, alive and well, and her determination and resilience inspires me every day. Mom, this is dedicated to you. I love you so much. We are going to go to an interview, though, so stick around for that. And after that, you'll be joined by the amazing Super Jamoose. Thank you so much, everyone. You are all amazing. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Gamers of Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online. My name is adef, and we are joined by KLM1187. KLM, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm very excited to do this, actually. These interviews are always so cool, and I never honestly thought I'd have a chance to do one, so this is really awesome.
Well, we're happy to have you on. It's always good to talk to a fellow classic Mega Man speedrunner, of course. So, KLM, let's dive right in. You have run a billion games. Like, your speedrun.com profile is immense. So I gotta know, when GDQ submission time rolls around and you're constrained to just 5 game submissions, how do you pick? How do you decide?
Yeah, usually it'll be kind of what I'm running at the moment. But there have been a few games where, yeah, I've been submitting for a few years now. Two of the games that actually got in this time, like Bucky O'Hare and Crown Conquest, are games that I've been submitting for the last almost 2 years or so.
Oh, wow.
So there are some games that I'll submit every time, but the most of the time it's usually just something that I'm just running currently, which also happened with the other game that got in as well.
Nice. So let's talk about all three of those games that you're running
Yeah,
individually. It's kind of nuts. We've got like a little KLM block.
yeah,
It's just KLM for a while. So KLM, the first one we're going to talk about is, and I'm going to try my best, Kyoryu Sentai Zyu Ranger, which is an NES Power Rangers title, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what makes this run special.
Yeah, so it's a very short run. It's 6 to 7 minutes in length, as long as everything goes well. It's really cool platforming. You play as each ranger there throughout the stage. Halfway through the stage, you get a special weapon. With each ranger has a different weapon. Honestly, I wish the stages were a little longer because the special weapons are actually really satisfying and cool to use. A lot of interesting platforming too, but it's just a super fast run. It has one song throughout the whole run too, which happens to be a good one. So
Good.
I do sometimes base runs that I learn based off of like how good the music is as well. So that is
Very
important to
fair.
me too as well. Yeah. So super fun and quick run. Yeah.
Nice. So up next is Bucky O'Hare. Now, Bucky O'Hare, it's been a few years since we've seen Bucky at a GDQ marathon, but more than that, I think this will be the first time we'll be seeing normal mode, because in the past, when Cypher and Gary have run Bucky, it's been hard mode.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what's different in the normal mode run.
Yeah, so the normal mode, or I'm sure if anyone's familiar with the hard mode run, is there's a special password you put in where you take one hit and you die, no matter how much life you have or what hits you. The normal mode game operates as normal, so you actually have a life bar. You can take damage. So this pretty much the main difference is there's a lot of damage boosts you can do. You don't have to worry about dying in certain sections. You can go a little faster in some sections because of that aspect. There are still there's some death warps that you can do as well that you'll see in the run. Hopefully, as long as it goes well, that you can still do in the normal mode run, and just it's actually more particular with how much damage you take through those stages versus with
Sure.
the hard mode run. You just take one hit and then you die. So very similar run, but it's a little. I would say it's a little more marathon friendly, and
Okay, yeah.
it should be. Ideally, it's a little faster too. So
Nice. Well, I heard a little murmur before the interview that you may have just recently PB'd in Bucky.
yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, I did, and it was actually with a really bad death in the last level too. So there's a pretty good chance that I could even get a PB during my run. I
Ooh.
don't want to get ahead of myself,
Okay,
but yeah,
spicy.
yeah,
We got a little spice.
yeah,
Gamers,
yeah.
stay tuned. So after Bucky, there's this brief moment with no KLM on screen, and then suddenly,
travesty.
after two more short runs, there's more KLM on screen. So tell me about Cryon Conquest and the race you have going on with Stone Clive.
Yes, I was actually surprised because I didn't coordinate this with Stone. We both submitted separately, and it was joined into a race. And I am very
Nice.
honored because Stone Clive is a phenomenal Japanese speedrunner. He's awesome at every game that he touches, honestly. So I'm really honored to do this race with him. I'm actually glad it's a race because it's a very dangerous game. There's a lot of problem areas in the game where it can really set you back. So doing this alongside a race kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off, but it's also
Nice.
it'll be very fun. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to that one for sure.
Excellent. And, as somebody that has run in GDQ marathons before, it's very difficult to stay in fighting shape for one game. How
Yeah.
do you stay in tip-top shape for three?
It's been a little challenging because it's one of those things where you kind of have to balance like which games you need to prioritize more. I have experience of doing this. There used to be this speedrun competition called the Big 20,
Oh, yeah.
which would be 20 NES games. You have a month to learn all 20 games, and then there's a big race at the end of the month. I've done that 3 times before, so I kind of have some experience with learning or running multiple games in a short period of time. So
You feel good about the juggle.
yeah, it wasn't too bad. I didn't get to put in as much time as you would like to in each game because you kind of have to split your time in between all 3.
Right.
So, but just I felt pretty comfortable getting ready enough for all 3 of them anyway. So
Excellent. Well, KLM, thank you so much for your time. And gamers, please do stick around because the KLM block, the KLM show is just about to start. I've been ADEF and AGDQ Gamers. Don't tune your sets. Stay where you are. There's more speedrunning content coming up right after this.
Yeah.